Welcome, welcome, welcome. So in this lesson, we're going to start coding the app controller for deleting tasks. All right, so let's begin. All right, so first we're going to set up an event listener for the delete button. And for this, we're going to use event delegation. And let's have a look at our HTML file. All right, so the task list class is the parent of all tasks. So this is where we're going to put our event handler. Now, we already copied this to the DOM strings to use in adding tasks. Let's set up an event listener, DOM strings task container, add event listener, click and control delete task function. Right, so I just jammed through that because you already know this, right? So I want to show you, though, that here it's time to create our control delete task function. All right, so its parameter will be the event. Good, so we're going to add statements that will decide what to do according to the event target. So let's test the event target first. Console log event target. And reload the page. Read a book. Add. Now open the console, click buttons, and sure enough, you can see that this is the target element where the event was fired for the delete button. Now, our goal here is to delete the whole task, not just the delete button, right? And we don't want to delete all of the tasks. We just want to delete that particular one that was done. How do you achieve that? And this is where the ID comes in. So we're going to delete them based on their ID. So for that, we've got to find out what the ID of the target element is. To do that, we have to climb up with the parent node property in the DOM tree until we find the ID. The parent node property will return the parent of the specified node in the DOM tree. That's how that works. So let's check it out. Parent node, reload the page. And as you can see, we climbed up one node. Now to reach the ID, we should climb up 4 times. So let's write parent node 3 more times. Now let's test it. Reload the page. Test 1. Yep, there's the ID's element. But we need the ID. So let's add .id and test again. So reload the page. Test 1. Test 2. Test 3. And here we found our IDs. So I want to assign this to a variable in order to use it. Task ID to be equal to this. And declare it here. Now, what happens if we click somewhere else on the page? For example, if we click here, well, there's no ID, or here, or wherever, whatever, whenever. Well, anywhere we click, there's no ID, and that's because there are no other IDs in the whole HTML document. Are you with me? So that means that we can now use this fact to say that we only want stuff to happen later if the ID is defined. So first, let's write the things that we want to do here. So find ID. Check if there is any ID. If the task ID exists, delete the task from the data structure. Delete the task from the UI. Okay, so that's the end of this. See you in the next one.